Manga-Waido.
My name is Shunta Yoshi. I admire my cousin Tomoya. Tomoya has always been smart and athletic from when he was young. On top of that, he started a company out of college and has been successful. He's my Superman. I was hoping that I could be like him one day. But in reality, after graduating college, I started working at a marketing company and had been used for grunt work every day. I was pretty tired. I'm not going to be able to start my own company at all at this rate, but if I give up, that's the end. Luckily, my company was okay with me working side gigs. Some of my other coworkers who started working before me are designers and writers on the weekends. It's been almost 2 years since I've joined this company. I can't just drown in my work like this. I have to do something to start my company. That's what I was thinking. I don't know what job I should do for my company anyway. While I was cleaning up my room, I noticed that there were a bunch of notes and textbooks in the corner. Oh yeah! I used to have Tomoya help me out with my homework back then. When I was in high school, I had Tomoya teaching me things online. Maybe I can start a company with online tutoring? At the time, it was still rare to see online tutors. I decided that this was the market I was going to try to get into. That weekend, I got together a bunch of old friends from my club in college. I see. You want to start your own company, huh? Yeah, it's always been my dream. But isn't it super rare that it actually works out? I mean, I'm going to start out with it being a side gig, then make it a company when it starts to gain traction. Huh? You're gonna start your own company? Can you bring me on board? Nishida, an old classmate, popped into the conversation I was having with my other classmate. He was 2 years younger than me and was very social. He was annoying, but there was something about him you couldn't dislike. I'm about to start looking for a job, and I figured I would end up as some office worker. But I felt like I wasn't a good fit for it. I mean, I'm still in the planning phase. I've only just decided the market. Oh, I'm actually excellent with English. Want me to try teaching English as a trial? Yeah. Might not be a bad idea. He lived overseas for a while, so he spoke fluent English. It might work, I reasoned. First, I made a website and started posting on social media. Free trial! Free study material! I tried to advertise. Ah, I have a client. I guess people like trials, huh? The online thing was also still pretty rare, so there was actually a pretty good amount of students showing up. The teachers didn't have to leave their house, and we didn't have to run a classroom. It was perfect to run without spending too much money. Nishida, it's working pretty well. They're saying that your classes are really easy to understand. Really? I'm gonna work harder, so you just gather more students for me. Yeah, you got it! I called up some of my old friends and asked them to teach as well. I looked specifically for people who had experience living overseas, could speak fluent English, and had at least 700 points on TOEIC. Yeah, I think people prefer the one-on-one sessions, but some people still prefer the doubles. Let's make the one-on-one a little more expensive and make the group sessions cheaper. If they choose whatever fits their budget, they'll have more options. That's true. I think we should have classes designed for elementary schoolers as well. Yeah, okay. A lot of people start learning English in elementary school now. Nishida was into this and kept giving me new ideas. About a year and a half into it, we had a solid amount of regulars, and we were on a roll. I think we can make this into a company and make it work. Ooh, baby! I found my place of employment! Hey, come on! Making the company isn't the goal. Make sure you keep up the good work. Of course! I'm gonna work hard! I quit my job and started a company. I finally made my dreams come true. As the amount of students increased, the amount of inquiries and requests also increased. I hired help to handle that.
Sir, we have a complaint from one Mr. Kimura. He says that the teacher logged in 10 minutes late.
I see. Okay. Get in touch with the teacher and confirm with him what happened.
I already have. He says that he had a sudden stomach ache.
I see. Well, let him know that he needs to be careful, and that no matter the reason, if the tardiness continues, he may face termination of his contract.
Understood, sir.
To Mr. Kimura, please tell him sorry and...
How about we give him a single-use voucher for a free session as a gesture of our apology?
That's perfect. Thanks. This woman is Moeka Takahashi. We were the same age, and she worked with the paperwork. She spoke English as well, so when a teacher took off, she stepped in. I actually dated this woman. It was around half a year after she started.
I like how hard you work, sir. Please go out with me.
She just asked me out. I liked how straightforward she faced her work. I really thought it was kind of cute how she always laughed as well, but I was worried about going out with an employee when... She said she was worried that you might not like her. Huh? Apparently, she talked to Nishida about the fact that she asked me out, and was worried that I hadn't answered her. I need to face her head on, like I face my work. I decided to go out with her. We both worked hard at work, and had a great private life as well. My life was going well. However... Boss, you're making a lot of money. Let's expand our business. 2 years after we started the company, Nishida started talking about expanding. What do you mean? Subjects other than English, maybe? No, you know, things like developing apps and investing. Things that are popular right now. So you're gonna go into a field that has nothing to do with what we're doing now? No, we don't have the time or money for that yet. It's fine, we've done well so far. We're fairly well off with our money, too. No, we need to solidify what we've got going on now before we move on to the next subject. We're fine. You're such a hardhead, sir. Nishida had confessed to me when he was drunk that he was getting bored of his job. I need to be doing something new constantly, you know? Come on, let's be more adventurous. He'd always bought new things and new watches. He must still get bored easily. What's wrong with making steady money?
Is something wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself.
You seem tired. You don't have to worry about tomorrow's date. Just rest.
What? But we were so excited for that movie.
It's fine. I'll go alone and you need rest too.
I felt like Moeka was acting more distant recently. Before, she would wait for me until I finished my work, but now she just went home. When I invited her out to date, she just said that she had plans already. Does she like someone else? A few months later, my hunch became reality. She suddenly said that she wanted to break up and quit at the end of the month. Why so suddenly? If you don't like something, just tell me.
It's not like anything in particular, but you're just boring.
What do you mean?
You always take me out to the same place in the same restaurant.
That's because you said you like those places.
I'm just bored of the same place every time. I like a man who can take me to different places.
She put in her request to quit immediately. She also blocked me on all points of contact. What the hell? Right around that time, a lot of my teachers also started quitting. I was shook even more. What the hell? Why is everyone leaving me? I was complaining to Nishida. I thought that he would understand how I felt since he had been there from the beginning. However, he said, "Sorry to break it to you. I'm responsible for everything." What? What did you do? You didn't notice, huh? You're so dense, that's hilarious. I took all of your teachers and your girlfriend. What? Tell me you're lying? I started my own online mentoring school. I needed my own teachers too, so I had them come to me. I thought you went home early after work. That's why, you know, starting your own company is kind of a pain in the butt. But because I knew more about how to run things here, it was fairly simple. I'm so glad I studied with you. He laughed and showed the site that he had started and had bragged about how he already had customers. Moeka said that she would come to me when I started my own company. I see. That's why she suddenly broke up with me. A woman wants an aggressive man like me. They don't want a man who's steady like you. You're boring. So yeah, toodles. I'm gonna put in my letter of resignation later too. He was cackling as he left from my office. I was actually holding... After I made sure he left completely, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Thanks, Nishida! I owe you one! He took all of the pesky problems and the woman who always wanted my things. Nishida took all of the problematic teachers with him. At first glance, they were young and good-looking, so they left a good first impression, but they didn't keep it up. I was honestly unsure of what to do. It would have been easier to fire them, but I didn't know how to tell them. It was also nice that he took Moeka from me. She was cute and did her work well, sure, but when we went on dates...
Buy this, buy that.
She would just beg for expensive things and always eat at the most expensive places. Of course, she never paid for any of it. I was getting pretty tired of her, so we kept going to cheap places. She then started saying that she was bored and broke up with me. I'm sure she went with Nishida, who took her out to more expensive places. I'm so glad he took the gold digger too. Afterwards, I hired quite a few office workers and teachers to restart my business. Luckily, a lot of teachers stuck around who were willing to pick up the slack while we hired more. Of course, I gave them all a nice bonus. I started working quietly and steadily at the company without any troublemakers. I hadn't heard from them since. I didn't care. But then, a year and a half later, Nishida showed up at my office. "Sir, please give me some money! My company went under, and when I put my money into investments, I didn't do well, and now I'm drowning in debt!" "That sucks. Sorry to break it to you, but I don't have any money for you." "Come on!" "Why don't you ask your girlfriend for money?" "Moika? I broke up with her. What the hell is wrong with that woman? French places, Italian places? Worst mistake of my life." "Right? Anyway, I'm not lending you any money, so if that's all you want, please leave." "I'm begging you! Come on! We started this company together!" "You stole everything from me! What the hell are you talking about?" "It's in the past! Let's let it all go!" I was starting to get annoyed, so I said that I would call the cops, and he walked off complaining. I looked at his social media, and apparently he was asking a lot of people for money. No one was paying him any attention though. And Moika? According to her social media, she also started dating someone a little sketchy after Nishida, and...
How do I stop being someone's guarantor? What part-time jobs earn the most money?
She was clearly not having a great time. She only wanted money, so hey, suits her. I'm going to continue working steadily so as to not end up like those two. I'm going to be loyal to my clients and employees. It doesn't need to be a breaking new idea. This was the most important thing right now. The only reason I came to this realization was thanks to Nishida and Moika. I wish I could thank them, but I'm never going to see them again. I'm Takato Inoue. I'm a new employee who just joined this recruiting company, Wide Power, last year. My job is mainly sales to the host company. Sometimes I go to existing clients, and sometimes I go and find new ones. It's a tough but rewarding job, and I'm glad I joined this company. This is my senior, Koichi Kitami. He's 4 years older than me, and he's my instructor. At first, I admired Kitami because he was cool and had good sales results. But, you haven't won a single contract yet? You're a dull, lame guy, and you can't even do your job? You're worthless. I'm sorry. There's one company that's giving me some positive consideration. When I first joined this company, I used to get 3 or 4 new clients a month. Well, I am an elite graduate from a famous university, so it's no surprise that I can do better than a guy who graduated from a no-name university, right? He made fun of me at every opportunity in this manner, and I gradually came to dislike him. I once talked to my boss about it, but he just said, I'll give him a warning, and there was no change in Kitami's attitude even after that. There were many customers who favored Kitami, and because he was the top salesman in our branch, the boss couldn't speak strongly against him. I guess I'll just have to work hard so I don't get talked down. Then one day, a newcomer came into our branch. But he was not someone who just graduated. He was a mid-career hire, a 43-year-old man. My name is Kazuki Sasahara. I will learn the job so that I can be useful as soon as possible. So please, give me your guidance. Kitami became Sasahara-san's instructor. Kitami didn't want to, but the other employees were busy meeting their monthly quotas. The boss asked him, Please, you're the only one who can afford it. In the end, he accepted it, saying, I guess I have no choice. Soon after that, Kitami said, Inoue, you can work by yourself now, can't you? And then stopped looking out for me. So I was released from Kitami. From that day on, Kitami started mentoring Sasahara-san. From the very beginning, Please, learn your job faster. You're only 43 years old. It's still too early to get old. You're at a decent age. I need you to be an immediate asset to the company. He looked down on Sasahara-san. But Sasahara-san was a warm-hearted person and said with a smile, Yes, I will do my best. Is he going to be okay? I was worried, but I had my own work to do, so I couldn't keep worrying about Sasahara-san. To be honest, I felt better now that Kitami didn't get involved with me anymore. Now's my chance to put in some work. I worked hard at my job. However... Wait! Sasahara-san! Are you working overtime? Yes. I was told to enter all these documents before leaving. What? All of this? Where's Kitami? Don't tell me he already left. He left on time. This is Kitami's client list, right? This one too? And this one too? Did he force you to do it? He told me to do it to gain more experience. It's okay. The more I do, the quicker I will learn. But even then, this amount is too much! I'll help you! You were just about to go home, weren't you? It's okay. I don't have any plans. Let's get it done together. Thank you. That would be very helpful. After that, I would frequently pay attention to Sasahara-san, but Kitami would talk down on him and force him to do his job every day. If you were recruited mid-career, it means you came to us because you couldn't get a job at another company, right? Well, yes. You should work a little harder. You should at least come in and work on your days off. If you don't, you'll get fired again. I'm sorry. And that suit. Why don't you get a better one? Mine's fully custom-made, you know. Yes, I will when I can afford one. Oops, I guess there's no way a mid-career slacker can afford to buy a better suit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been so rude. That smirking Kitami disgusted me too. The boss could hear, but he just kept pretending he didn't. Kitami's performance this month was good, so the bosses left his antics unchecked, as usual. After that, Kitami said, Sasahara-san, you're not wearing a wedding ring, but being single at your age is proof that you're finished as a human being. You can't even get customers, and your paperwork is so slow. I feel sorry for the company that pays you. And just talked all he wanted. Even though Sasahara-san was getting contracts and handling the paperwork with no problems for a newcomer. You should talk back to him more. Kitami's only going to do worse if you leave him alone. No, he's right about me being an incapable employee. Anyway, Inoue-san, thank you for always working overtime with me. You're a big help. I was too scared of Kitami to stand up for you, so this is my way of atoning for that. Inoue-san, you really are a good person. But something finally happened that made me lose my patience. That day, Kitami said, "Finish all this!" and threw all the complicated paperwork to Sasahara-san without any explanation. I've never done this before. I'm sorry for the trouble, but could you please teach me? Huh? I'm busy. Then please, give me the manual. A manual? I don't know if there was such a thing. It's too much trouble to look for one, so just go with your intuition. But if I make a mistake, I will cause you more trouble. So could you please teach me the first part at least? I could do this just by looking at it. You're older than me, so you can do it, can't you? Use your experience and do your best. As Kitami scoffed, I finally snapped. Kitami-senpai! Everyone has to be taught at first! Didn't you have someone to teach you in the beginning too? I was reprimanded by my boss last year when I couldn't do a good job after being told to do it on your own. This wasn't something I could think of as someone else's problem. What's with you all of a sudden, Inoue? If you're going to nag, why don't you teach Sasahara how to do it? No, Inoue-san. You're busy too, aren't you? If I can have the manual, I'll do my best on my own. That's right. Well, good luck with that. I've got plans after this. Don't interrupt me. Wait a minute. I'll lend him my manual, but at least give him some guidance for the first part. Oh, you have the manual? Then you can take care of Sasahara-san, right? Oh yeah, if it's the two of you, can you finish this whole thing? What? I couldn't believe it. Kitami handed us twice as many documents. Seeing the mountain of papers that he must have been storing for weeks made me feel sick. You guys are bored, right? Work on it amongst yourselves. See ya! Wait! Kitami-senpai! I tried to stop him, but Kitami shook me off and left. I'm sorry. It's my fault for interjecting. It's okay. Thanks for trying to help. No, I couldn't be of any help after all. Let's just get it done then. I'll do this bunch over here. You really are a kind person, Inoue-san. No, I'm not. Oh, here's the manual. I'll teach you everything. So if there's anything you don't understand, Please ask me right away. Yes, thank you. Sasahara-san was mild-mannered, and I'd never seen him get angry. He worked very quickly, and once he learned something, he did it quickly and efficiently. He was a very capable worker, to say the least. We finished the large amount of work without a hitch, and were able to leave much earlier than expected. He was also very gracious and bought me a canned coffee as if to say, "Thank you for helping me out." I thought to myself, I want to be a man like Sasahara-san. The following month, Sasahara-san was able to win a contract with a major client. The president of the company was known for being difficult, but he said, "I'll work with your company." After just 2 visits by Sasahara-san. That's amazing! The president there was famous for being difficult. No, it was just a coincidence. The president's hobby was fishing, which I liked too. So we got to talking. Sasahara, great job! Let's have a drink today. Come on, everyone! Let's celebrate! Yes! But at this celebratory drinking party, a terrible incident occurred. Hey, Sasahara! Don't act so high and mighty just because you got 1 contract! I tried to intervene, but he pushed me out of the way, saying, "You're in the way!" Sasahara looked at me and said, "It's okay," and then gulped down the sake that got poured. He's a strong drinker too. Sasahara-san is so cool. But what about Kitami? Wow, he's already wasted. Don't get carried away just because some useless mid-career guy like you got a contract by a fluke! I got lucky this time. If I'd gone, that would have been mine! You just took credit for it! Kitami-senpai, don't talk like that! Shut up! You shut up! Come on, Sasahara, have a drink! I'm celebrating for you! No, I've had enough for today. Huh? You're not gonna take my drink? It's not like that. Come on! It's your superior's drink! Take it! Senpai, come on! Ah! I tried to stop him, but the drink in Kitami's hand was already all over Sasahara-san! Are you okay? I'll go get a towel! My colleagues noticed the commotion and gathered around saying, "What's the matter?" Amidst all this, Sasahara-san just laughed and said, "It's alright," as beer dripped from his head. But Kitami-san? What? You're not going to lose your temper, are you? If you lose your temper over something as trivial as this, you'll get fired! I'll keep this attitude of yours in mind. The cold voice sent a chill down my spine. Sasahara-san, who was laughing earlier, turned to a straight face. Although he must have been drunk, his eyes were looking straight at Kitami. His stern face even horrified me. What? You can't just go to your seniors like that? You being my senior ends this month. Starting next month, you'll be my subordinate. Huh? What are you talking about? That's not a funny joke! The information ban was lifted a few minutes ago, so let's just get it out of the way. I'm not joking. Your companies are being acquired by a merger. I am an employee of the acquiring company. I've been working under the guise of a mid-career hire to investigate your usual attitude and working environment. The turn of events was so sudden that no one could react except for me and Kitami, who could only open our mouths in shock. But it seems that what he was saying was true. My boss was there, and he seemed to be fiddling with his phone and asked, "What? Is it true?" as he turned pale. I later found out that in the case of a merger by absorption, there's no obligation to tell the employees that they are being acquired. Because our company was a privately held stock company and only the founder owned the shares, I heard that the exchange of shares in the merger was done privately, and we were never informed of it. The boss who was fiddling with his phone is a distant relative of the founder, so he probably checked with someone who knew what was going on. Kitami also saw the situation, and apparently realized that he wasn't bluffing. You're my boss? What does that mean? It means that I'm in charge of your evaluation and personnel matters. We don't need anyone who's not good for the company, no matter how good your sales performance is. You can't let an employee go unchecked if they're going to be a source of trouble, especially those who bully new employees or pour beer on their heads. No! I'm sorry! It was just a sudden impulse! Kitami seemed to sober up at once, and he turned completely pale and began to get down on his knees when Sasahara-san said, "The top management is also responsible for allowing him to act so arrogantly." Even the superiors got down on their knees. The scene became chaotic, and other customers were amused and took pictures with their phones. The following month, our company was merged into another company, just as Sasahara-san had said. However, the other company wanted to take advantage of our business and proposed the absorption, so the work was almost the same as before. I was relieved to know that the only thing that changed was the name of the company. As for Kitami, damn it! Why the hell am I being demoted? You've got to be kidding me! As a result of personnel evaluation, Kitami was demoted to an internal office. He calls it a demotion because it's not in the flashy sales department, but his salary won't go down, so I thought he was just overreacting. But in this internal office was a lot of habitual bureaucrats and hard-headed bosses. I heard that Kitami resigned voluntarily 2 months later as a result of thorough supervision. I'd heard that there was a correctional department for employees who caused problems, but it seems that that's exactly where Kitami went. The bosses who turned a blind eye to Kitami's antics were also removed from the flashy department and lost their way up the ladder. I, as a lowly employee, can only say, do your best at your respective places. As for me, your kindness to all deserves recognition. I hope you will eventually become a top talent in this department. Yes, I'll do my best. I've been reassigned to leadership training. I'll be teaching basic office knowledge and sales etiquette so that the new recruits can do well at their new companies. I also teach new employees in the company and support them in acquiring qualifications. In short, it's a department that's entrusted with the responsibility of providing guidance. There's a lot to do, and it's busy, but I enjoy working there every day thanks to the good treatment and the people around me. I have to keep working hard to live up to Sasahara-san's expectations, while being careful not to become conceited and end up like Kitami.
I'm Kosuke Toyama, an employee of Toyama Group, a small construction company run by my father. We build new buildings for construction companies and undertake remodeling projects under direct contracts with our clients. The company has been running smoothly with no major problems so far.
How's everything going? Murota-san! Things are going well!
This is Murota-san, who has been taking care of my father since he was young. He's the president of Murota Corporation, and he often gives us commissions.
I have a property that we're discussing, and if it goes on a contract, I'd like you to build it for me. Is that possible? I'm finishing up a job next month, so if it's okay with you after that, yeah, that would be great!
My father was very grateful to Murota-san for giving him commissions during the recession and keeping the business afloat. I love Murota-san for his kind personality as well. I was hoping we could continue our good relations, but...
I'm sorry. I need you to keep all future correspondences with my son. What happened? You don't look so well. I've actually been ill, and I'm going to be hospitalized.
What?
I'm thinking of handing the company over to my son.
I couldn't ask too much about it, but I heard that Murota-san was diagnosed with a serious illness and will need to stay in the hospital for a long time. Both my father and I were shocked at the sudden news. Reiji Murota, Murota-san's eldest son, became the second president. I had the impression that he was a quiet person who got the job done in a concise manner. He wasn't the same type as a compassionate President Murota. But since he's the president's son, I'm sure we'll get along well. Reiji-san was visiting business partners with President Murota to take over.
My name is Reiji, and I have replaced my father as president. I am still young, but I look forward to working with you.
He made a good impression with his smile when he came to our office. But after a while, when Murota-san stepped down as president and was hospitalized, Reiji-san suddenly changed.
What are you slacking off for?
It's break time, so...
How are you going to meet your deadline? Stop taking breaks and get back to work!
He's never had much experience in the field before, but every time he shows up at a job site, he's always complaining about our work. Our job is long and physically demanding. We need to take breaks in order to eliminate accidents and to do a good job.
Besides, we are working to meet deadlines.
You're a subcontractor and you're talking back to me? Who do you think you are?
What?
I won't pay you if you don't deliver on time. I'm not like my father.
Reiji was apparently dissatisfied with his father's way of doing things. After he was replaced, he started to work in his own way. Reiji seemed to think that a building contractor is superior to a craftsman and often looked down on us.
You're able to make a living because we hand you the jobs, right? You should be more grateful to us! Stop giving me your opinion when you're just a subcontractor!
Of course I talked back, but Reiji threatens to quit the contract if we don't like it. Dad, I can't work the Maroto anymore.
Yeah, I didn't realize Reiji was that kind of person.
There are many other construction contractors that will give us jobs, so why don't we cut Maroto Corporation? But my father seemed to have a hard time making up his mind, thinking of how former President Maroto had helped him in the past. But then the incident that finally made my father lose his temper.
The client of this project is a senior of mine from my college days. Don't you dare cut corners!
Of course, we'll work carefully as usual.
It's due by the end of September. Make sure you get it done!
September? I'm sorry, but we can't meet that deadline. I'd like it by the end of October, please.
I already told him that I could do it by the end of September. If all your craftsmen work on it, you can do it, can't you?
That's impossible! This is not the only site we have. We have another remodeling project to do, so we can't have all of our craftsmen working on this one project.
You're saying you're giving priority to other projects?
It's not about giving priority. You're not the company we're doing business with.
You're awfully cocky for a subcontractor.
Anyhow, we cannot accept orders with deadlines earlier than the end of October. If you insist on the end of September, please look elsewhere.
Reiji was furious when my father refused. He left as he said, enough. Was it okay? Saying no?
I can't make the craftsmen work too hard.
I thought Reiji wouldn't come back anymore since he was refused, but a few days later.
I couldn't find craftsmen to take on the job with the deadline being the end of September. So I'm gonna ask you to do it.
Huh.
As I told you before, if you're willing to make the deadline by the end of October, we will take the job.
Okay, that's fine. Just get it done as soon as possible. Your company always finishes ahead of schedule, right? Do the same this time. Understood?
He said that, but are you sure?
Contract says that the work is due by the end of October. So all we had to do is do it according to the terms of the contract. Now that we got the job, let's get moving.
Once the contract had been processed and the deposit was confirmed, we started work on the site the following month. Reiji came to the site every day to check on progress.
You haven't even raised the roof yet? There's no way you can finish by the end of September like this! Hurry up!
With all due respect, we're proceeding according to our contract with a delivery date at the end of October.
I told you that's too late! Are you trying to ruin my reputation?
Apparently, Reiji made a big deal to his senior, who was the owner of the house, that we'll finish it by the end of September. So you can cancel your lease at the end of September. Yeah, you can save a month's rent if you move in early, but it's outrageous that we're going to be the ones paying the price for it. Despite our misgivings, we proceeded as originally planned. My father, who was the leader...
The best thing to do is to build a house that will be lived in for a long time with careful work.
He says, me and my fellow craftsmen followed my father's lead and started at our usual pace. But it seems that Reiji was getting irritated. He came to the site that day and started to lose his temper by himself.
I can't believe the windows aren't even in yet! You guys must be slacking!
That's not true. As usual, no, we're moving ahead at a faster pace than usual. Reiji is making a lot of noise even though we're taking a break. I, of course, and all the craftsmen are fed up. Reiji doesn't notice us like that and heats up all by himself.
Stop eating and get to work! Subcontractors don't take breaks!
He kicks the craftsman who was sitting down to eat. What?
What the hell are you doing? Suzuki, are you alright?
My finger!
Unbelievable! This is unacceptable! You guys, it's over. Let's go home. Kosuke, get Suzuki on board and get to the hospital.
Yes!
Hey! Wait! What about the construction?
Hell if I know!
Hey, wait! Wait!
Reiji was making a fuss, but we didn't bother and left. Luckily, Suzuki's hand was only bruised, but kicking someone's hand is unforgivable. The next day, Reiji came to our office, perhaps impatient with our absence from the site.
Quit bending the navel and get back to the site! How can you get angry over something like that?
Both my father and I were furious at Reiji for saying such a thing without apologizing. How dare you without apology?
Calm down, Kosuke. It's already too late for an apology.
Huh? What are you talking?
I filed a police report for assault.
What?
You know the craftsman who was sleeping in the car at the time? The air conditioner was on and so was the dashcam. Everything you did was recorded.
No!
With Suzuki's medical report and a video from the dashcam, the police accepted the damage report. When I told Reiji the receipt number, he turned blue. After that, Reiji must have gotten impatient that he couldn't handle it by himself. He forced President Murota, who was in the hospital, to come with him and apologized. The president, who was pale from his illness, turned even paler when he heard what his son had done.
I am very sorry for what my son has done. He told me it was going well, so I believed him. I am so sorry.
I am sorry. Please withdraw the damage report as I am apologizing.
Can you also apologize for disrespecting us as a subcontractor and verbally abusing our craftsmen? I beg your pardon? Reiji, you did that too?
I was repeatedly told, if you don't obey me, I'll cut the contract. Who do you think you owe your meals to?
Stop! Not in front of my father!
Unbelievable. Reiji, you've been putting on a facade in front of me.
No, Dad! I just didn't want the subcontractors to undermine me!
Undermine? What the hell is that? The Toyama Group and I support each other to run our business. It's not about who's above or below. Rather, you're the one who's inexperienced, and you're the one who needs to be taught. How can you not understand that?
I felt sorry for President Murota, who broke down crying over his son's stupidity. After that, President Murota and Reiji dismissed. Reiji panicked, saying, "Are you kidding me?" But the president's will was strong. The following week, it was an old employee who came with President Murota.
I made Reiji quit. He will be the new president. He's been with me for a long time and he understands our management policy very well. I am very sorry about Reiji. I want you to deal with him from now on.
Reiji paid for Suzuki's medical treatment from his savings, and the rest was confiscated by President Murota. And he was evicted from his house penniless. I saw him several times sitting in the park with his shoulders slumped, as he couldn't get a job so easily. After Reiji left, we resumed construction. The new building was completed and handed over in October as planned. Apparently, Reiji Sr. from the beginning thought that the deadline by the end of September was impossible. I wasn't in any hurry. I told him that the end of October would be fine, but Reiji's was all excited, saying things like, "I'll do my best for my senior." In the end, it seems that Reiji was just spinning his wheels to put a good face in front of his senior. We're still doing business with Murota Corporation, which has started to turn around properly under the new president. After that, President Murota continued his treatment and his health stabilized to the point where he was able to leave the hospital. He also came to see us. I asked him about Reiji, but he said he hasn't been in touch with him since he left the hospital, and he doesn't know what he's doing now. I just hope he will change himself and start over. We're going to continue our job with sincerity and to make our clients happy.
My name is Keisuke Higuchi. I'm just a regular college student. But I've had something nice happen that has never happened to me before, so I felt good. Yo, I heard! You made a lot of money off stocks, right? Yeah, I did actually. I didn't know you had that kind of talent. It wasn't talent, though. I just studied a little bit and used some of my money from my part-time job, which led to a surprise profit. It's beginner's luck, and I made several thousands. But when I saw the company that I had my eyes set on go up, I was seriously happy and feeling good. But about 2 days after I talked about that with some friends, a girl from my club, Mihiro Takase, walked up to me.
Higuchi, I actually have always had a crush on you.
What?
If you want to go out with me?
She was one of the Madonnas of the club. I couldn't believe that she liked me. I was actually so shocked that I couldn't say anything. I'd never had a girlfriend in my life. From my view, she was someone that was way beyond my reach. I was seriously drawing a blank when she said that. I told her that I needed some time to think, but how could I answer her? Thinking about it, I just couldn't figure it out, so I asked a friend for help. Then he said something that I never would have believed. What? She asked you out? Yeah, what do I do? I don't even know because I'm definitely not good enough for her. You won't get a chance like this again. Just go out with her. No, you shouldn't. I heard she's sketchy as hell. According to my friend, she always went to men with money before draining them of their money and moving on. Tanaka from accounting said he was dumped in 2 months. Oh yeah, Yamagawa was with you a lot, but he's not around anymore. I really don't hear anything good about her. I'm warning you. You shouldn't go out with her. Yeah, you're right. Besides, I don't think I'm good enough for her. I can't handle the pressure. I did a little digging myself and found out the rumors were true. Apparently, she heard about my stock story and came to me. However, I couldn't tell her that she was just interested in my money, so I told her I wanted to focus on my studies. Then she said,
I see. Just you watch.
Huh? I made her mad? I guess that wasn't a good enough reason? Apparently, Takase was rejected for the first time ever and freaked out. She started saying things just to spite me after that.
How dare you dump me with your ugly ass? You're just a low-level shit-for-brains man. Don't come to school. I don't want to see your face.
She would repeatedly scream at me, and I was genuinely just tired of her. Luckily, I was a senior, so I didn't have to deal with her after I graduated. But I really hoped I never had to deal with a woman like that again. Then I started working at a janitorial service company. It was fairly famous, and we cleaned everything from skyscrapers to houses.
Wow, the windows are squeaky clean. You're definitely a pro.
Thank you so much. We've cleaned with our heart and soul.
Thank you so much. I might ask for your help again.
Of course. We'd love to be of service. This is a coupon that you can use until the end of the year if you'd like it.
Oh wow, thank you.
I wasn't a part-time worker, so I had to do sales and office work too. There was a lot to be done, so I was struggling. But luckily, most of the people at my workplace were kind, and I had great relationships with them. The more I worked, the more my customers liked me. I liked doing this, and I could quietly keep to myself and keep working. Every day was fulfilling. However, about a year and a half of working here, I stumbled into someone. That day, we were cleaning a building that we had just started a contract with. It was a new location, and we were checking up on everything with my other coworkers when...
Hey, you're in the way.
I'm so sorry! We'll move out of the way!
Hurry up. Disgusting. Wait, you.
A female employee was staring at me. I looked at her, and I figured it out. That was the girl that screamed at me in college!
Oh, look at that. It's you, Higuchi.
Hey.
What, you working part-time as a janitor?
No, I work full-time.
What, you went to college and this is the job you're doing? That's so pitiful. Ah, you failed with your stocks and you failed with finding employment, right?
No, I joined this company because I wanted to. Sorry, I've got to get to work. She apparently worked in a travel agency in this building. She wanted to brag to me about how she was the elite. Day after day, she would see me and mock me, making snarky comments like, I'm so glad I never dated a dirty, low-life man like you. Today as well.
Oh, you're here to clean again? You trying to pay off your loans that you took on when you failed in your stocks?
I don't have any loans. I'm sorry. I'm busy.
You must be struggling living a poor life, right? I can lend you some money if you beg.
I ignored her, but she kept talking to me. Honestly, it was pretty annoying.
Are you listening to me? I'll lend you money as long as you apologize that you rejected me.
I haven't taken any loans out, and I'm not struggling, so I don't need your money.
What the hell is that attitude? You could at least looked at me while you talked to me, you shitty man.
I'm working, dude. You're interrupting me. Please, stop talking to me.
What? You think that some lowlife like you is allowed to talk to an elite woman like me?
I'm sure you're proud of your work, just like I'm proud of mine. Stop making fun of me. I had to tell her off, or she was just gonna keep going. I stopped wiping and looked at her to retort. However, she just started getting more heated.
You think you can really talk to me like that? You're able to work here because of my company.
We didn't get the money from your company. The building management company hired us.
Huh, look at you, full of yourself. You don't know any manners as a janitor. I love to see your parents who raised you.
I can call my dad real quick. You want to see him that badly? I was getting too tired of it, so I couldn't help myself.
What? What did you just say?
No, I'm saying if you want to see him, I can get him down here.
What are you talking about?
Two men started talking. Oh, hey, Dad. This woman wants to talk to you. Takase let out a small scream when she saw the man I was talking to. Of course she would. He was definitely someone who had dabbled in Yakuza. I mean, he's my dad, though. Hello. Pleasure to meet you. I'm his father. Can I help you?
Your father is Yakuza?
Takase started getting all quiet. She tried to hide behind me, but I shoved her back out in front. He's not Yakuza. My father owns and operates a cleaning company. I mean, he looks like that, so I don't blame you for thinking that he might be Yakuza. Yes, the company that I joined was my father's janitorial company. My father had always said that he wanted me to take over the company, and I'd always felt like what he did was cool. I was overjoyed to join his company. I'm still a new employee, but I want to be like him one day. That's why I worked hard every single day. By the way, my father was told that they would like us for cleaning the roof as well, so he was here checking the place out. This girl is a classmate called Takase, but she always calls me a low-life janitor and wanted to see your face. I see. This is the face of his parent. What do you think?
No, so...
We do janitorial work, absolutely. But we pride ourselves in the work that we do, as we are a necessity in daily life. And you call us lowlifes? Can you explain what you mean by that?
No, sorry!
Takase must have been scared off by my father. She sprinted away in a hurry. However, it was something that was done within the office building. There were many employees that saw the whole thing, and Takase showed up in front of us with her boss. I'm so sorry for my employee's rude attitude! No, I really don't mind. Besides, she's always been that kind of person that bullies people she doesn't like. Since she was in college, I'm worried that she might be doing the same thing in your company. When I told the boss, a nervous Takase suddenly said,
How dare you! Shut the hell up, lowlife! Oh.
She must really be stupid. She said that in front of her own boss. She must have figured out that she said the wrong thing because she suddenly lost all color in her face and said, No, that just came out! Yeah, nice excuse. That just came out? You must be saying terrible things on purpose!
No.
I've lost hope in you! You came here to apologize! Do you understand?
I understand.
No, you don't! That's why you're able to talk like that! I can tell you don't feel guilty at all! Her boss just apologized and bowed in front of us. It's alright. Just make sure she doesn't come anywhere near me. Of course, sir! I will keep her under a microscope! I'm so terribly sorry! She never messed with me again. Well, more accurately, I never saw her within the building again. Someone who claimed to be her coworker told me, but apparently, she was sent off to some faraway branch.
She was sent off to a department that exclusively handles making pants and mail.
Wow.
It's full of old people and part-time workers. Apparently she's really bored and unfulfilled. That's why her pride was scarred and has been saying she wants to quit all the time.
Afterwards, she apparently really quit. One of my classmates from college told me that she was tweeting really depressing things constantly. She apparently quit but couldn't find another place of employment and spent all her savings, so she went home to her parents' house. She lives with her brother and his wife, so she's being treated like an eyesore there too. I mean, with her personally, I'm not too surprised. You should check her social media too. It's pretty funny actually. Looking at her social media, looking for a high-income boyfriend. Someone pay for me. I don't have a place to stay at home. They're telling me to leave. But no one was replying, and it was really pitiful. She was always chasing money and looking down on people. If only she didn't do that, she wouldn't be in this situation.
Are there no rich men?
I felt bad for her, but as someone who she looked down on, I really couldn't empathize with her. I'm going to keep working hard to make sure I can follow my father's footsteps. Takase is just someone who teaches me what not to be. Even if I never get to where I'm starving, I would never look down on anyone. I'm going to keep moving forward, one step at a time, taking my work seriously every day.
Hey, wanna come to my home party later? I've hired a chef.
You bought my CD? Thank you.
Our private school has a lot of children of popular and famous people, and some talent are actresses as well. I was just a regular kid though. If anything, I was on the poor side. I knew that my standard of living was a lot lower compared to everyone else. It wasn't like I was mad at my parents though. When I was young, my parents got a divorce, so my father has raised me all on his own. I really appreciate him for that. I have to work hard to pay him back, and so I was able to get into the school based on my grades alone. However, a few months after starting school, I was way out of place and I couldn't make any friends. I was always isolated. I never should have come here. I used to always spend time alone during lunch where there weren't many people. Then one day...
You must be Yuta Makikawa. You like the schoolyard?
You're The girl talking to me was the daughter of a CEO of a company that everyone knows. Her name was Shizuka Nikaido. She was someone that everyone was too afraid to talk to, so she was also similar to me in that she was usually isolated.
What are you eating?
Huh? Oh, an energy mate.
I've never seen that before. Is it a meal or a snack?
I'm not sure how to explain it. Want one?
Thanks.
This is how we started talking, but after this day, we were talking to each other much more. She lived in a completely different world than me, so our common sense was completely different from one another. That was why everything seemed so new and fun. And although she never smiled in class, she often smiled around me. She's quiet and not very expressive, but I'm sure she's just struggling too. I started to slowly fall for her. But I would be in over my head if I thought I could ask someone this incredible out. Then, one day, while we were out in the city, we have a couple campaigns right now. How about you two give it a shot? We're not.
Thank you, but although we're a couple, we're in a hurry. Excuse us.
Huh? About a second ago.
How do people normally go out?
Well, people who like each other hold hands and hang out, you know?
We're doing that right now.
What? But I have to ask you out and get your answer before we start going out.
We have not done that yet. How about you do it right now?
Her sudden suggestion made my heart jump out of my chest, but I had to muster up my courage now. Nikaido-san, I like you. Please, go out with me.
I'd love to.
That's how I started dating Nikaido-san. However, it wasn't like we started being all lovey-dovey when we started going out. We were still friends.
What is this?
It's a necklace. It matches mine. Did you not like it?
No, I do like it. Thank you. I'll wear it every day.
Honestly, it didn't feel like I was dating her yet, but I was feeling very happy. However, the happy days came to a sudden end. After we started going to college, my father was suddenly let go. He couldn't find a job immediately, and our household was struggling in a hurry. I started working my part-time job more than before and putting more money into the house.
Hey, want to go to the aquarium next weekend?
Sorry, I've got work.
Okay.
I had to do my work in school and also work at my part-time job. I was way too busy to spend time with Shizuka. We were in different colleges as well, so we definitely started losing time for each other. I would try to call her when I had the time, but she slowly started growing more distant. This isn't good. We kept this up for a while before she called me out. I couldn't really find the right time, so a few days later, we finally were able to meet up. I remember this park. This is where I asked her out.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Shizuka! Sorry I'm so busy recently, but it should come down sooner. Then we can go to the aquarium and...
Let's break up.
Huh? She was normally pretty calm, but she looks extra calm today. She's also not wearing the necklace I bought for her a while ago. I knew somewhere in my heart. She's been a lot colder than usual, and sometimes I would notice her with men that I didn't notice. Do you like someone else?
It has nothing to do with you.
But I want to know the reason!
Okay then, fine. I don't think you're good enough for me. We live in different worlds.
Huh?
At first, I wanted to see something new and scary, but I'm bored of you now. Goodbye.
Wait! Hang on! Let's talk a little!
Don't follow me. I'm going to call the police.
But... Afterwards, she stopped talking to me completely and blocked me on all social media. I was dumped and hurt. For a while, I was depressed. Everything started to get better after my father found a new job, and the house was stable again. I was able to quit some of my part-time jobs, and that gave me more time to think about her. Is that how she felt about me for 3 years? But I couldn't stay depressed forever. I'm going to work hard so she can never mock me again. I was upset, but I turned it into determination. A few years later, I received an invitation in my mailbox. High school reunion, huh? I remembered all the times I was isolated. But maybe I had a thought about meeting up with someone at a reunion. When I walked into the hall, I saw a lot of faces I remembered, but no one was close enough to be called friend, so I couldn't really be nostalgic or anything. I had one goal. There she is! Long time no see!
You look good.
Honestly, I was pretty hopeless, but I was able to find her again. I thought that she would have hated me based on how she acted when she dumped me, but it seems she was open to conversation. I was working hard after you dumped me, so you couldn't mock me or anything.
Huh?
I started my own company. It's going well, too. I currently run a game development company. We were working on a variety of games. It was still a new company, but the first game we released was a huge success. I was even taken up in some magazines as the young, charismatic CEO. She was so shocked that she was just frozen in place. I was really upset when you said I wasn't good enough for you. I didn't want to get back with you or anything, but I was hoping I was at least a better man in your eyes.
Is that true?
Of course. It's not a lie. I was worried about what she would say, but...
You really worked so hard.
Huh? She suddenly started crying.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cry.
Let's change places, huh? Here you go. Have a drink.
Thank you. I've calmed down now. But you're CEO, huh?
Yeah. Maybe it's because you rejected me. But I gotta ask, why did you just start crying?
Can I tell you some stories about when I was younger? My father was a tough man and didn't raise me as a daughter, but as the heir to his throne.
You're in a good mood. You gonna meet with that guy again?
How did you know about that?
Who do you think I am? I left it alone while you were in high school, but you're still hanging around him in college? You don't hang around that peasant anymore. If people find out about it, our company will lose reputation.
Because of who I'm dating? I get to choose who I date. Leave me alone.
It's not just that he's poor. He apparently has gotten into fights before.
That's a misunderstanding. He has his reasons.
I don't care about the reasons. He was involved in an incident, that's it. Apparently his father works in a child company of ours.
What are you going to do?
I don't know, but I can tell you, you're going to regret it if you don't listen to me.
He must be lying. Nothing will happen. I must have been really naive back then. I had forgotten that he wouldn't think twice to destroy lives to get what he wanted. You're working part-time again? You're busy recently.
I'm sorry, actually.
Father! What did you do to his father?
What are you talking about? Do you feel like dating someone your size now?
If you promise to leave him alone.
Good. You should have done that from the beginning. Don't ever do anything on your own again, and don't ever see him again.
No way.
I started putting my relatives that were boys on social media, but you just didn't want to break up with me. That's why I had to tell you to go away. I didn't want to cause you any more problems.
Honestly, I was a lot more upset about breaking up with you.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's in the past now. Honestly, we did live in different worlds anyway. You're gonna take after your father, right?
No, I actually cut all ties with my family.
Huh?
I told them I would do what I could on my own without their help. But honestly, I haven't been able to do anything. My father has been getting in the way. I've just been working jobs anyone could do. Complete opposite between you and I now, huh? You can laugh at me. Go ahead.
Something came out of my mouth that I wasn't expecting. Hey, how about you come to my company? I need more employees anyway.
Huh?
I was honestly pretty upset with you after you dumped me, but I'm where I am thanks to you. I really appreciate it, so if you're okay with it.
My contract with my company was about to run out next month. This would help me a lot. Please, let me work with you.
She started working at my company. She worked hard and was popular around the office. Everyone liked her. However, good things don't continue. My sales were slowly declining. This isn't good. After a game is released, you would slowly lose users and sales over time. That's how things worked in the gaming industry. My company was no different. My sales and users were declining. We've been releasing large-scale updates every 6 months, and we've been putting a lot of work into the stories.
You're only concerned with sales and users?
What's wrong, Nikaido-san?
I'm sorry, I knocked, but I needed to hand you this.
What is this? Looking through the thick pile of documents, I noticed a lot of analytics that I never thought of looking through. The increase and decrease in users, the holes in our accounting, and suggestions to increase sales. Release the updates that are taking every 3 to 6 months, every month instead. This sounds a little crazy, but I think we could do it. But when did you analyze this?
I could tell from the existing data that our sales weren't doing too well. You know, I was taught accounting from a very young age. Until I cut ties with my father, I was also working as an executive of his company. That experience is really coming into use now. Was I going too far?
No, not at all. Thank you. I had a large conference and started changing the direction of our company. At first, it was pretty rough, but after half a year, sales were back on the rise and we were able to make a recovery. You really saved this company. You saved me. Thank you so much. You're always helping me out.
That's not true. It's because everyone in the office, including you, have been working hard. And you're the one that saved me first.
Huh?
You didn't remember, huh? When I was in middle school, some random boys from another school were messing with me, and you protected me.
Huh? You're not saying...
Yes, you got violent to protect me, and I've liked you since.
She smiled at me. She looked so attractive in the setting sun, and I couldn't resist. I had to tell her what had been on my mind for a while. Shizuka, please go out with me, with marriage in your mind. She was shocked before she slightly nodded.
Yes, please.
She cried for the second time in front of me. A few years later, we put in the papers to our marriage. She was considered a quiet and distant person, but she was actually really innocent and pure. I look forward to supporting each other going forward. I'm not letting you go this time, Shizuka.